about Directioners? Does Harry Styles' fan base have a name? Are they like the Cherries or something? I guess we're just all still called 1D losers forever. I'm a 1D loser forever. Are you? What's your favorite One Direction song? My favorite One Direction song is Over Again. Could we do this all over again? Did you know that song was written by Ed Sheeran? But the first song I ever listened to, besides What Makes You Beautiful, that doesn't count because that was forced upon me by the general public. But the first song that I fell in love with was More Than This. And then it was One Thing, and then it was Got to Be You. What about you? What was your first discovery of One Direction that wasn't promoted, that you had to go out and find yourself? I can love you more than this, yeah. I remember Liam's It's Got to Be You, 'cause you've got that one thing, so get out, get out, get out of my head and fall into my arms instead. Don't know what it is, but you've got that one thing, yeah. Okay, so that was my Up All Night medley that I just done for you. You're welcome. But that's my intro to this video. My video is going to be a review of Harry Styles' Love on Tour concert. Okay, so have you seen Harry on tour? I had the privilege of seeing Harry the other night, and I would say that it was one of my funnest nights I've ever had. And when I talk about the emotional part of it, it was just very awesome to see someone who you've been looking at on the internet and hearing in your earbuds every other day and through music videos in real life. Like, I didn't know that that was like possible until I seen it. Like, seeing the face, it's like putting a face to the words. I love film because film is supposed to be illusionary. It's supposed to be untouchable. It's supposed to be warped personalities. That's why I love film so much. That's why you see me doing it right now, talking to you. Because you could touch it by zooming in, but you can't really touch it, you know? Because if I film this right now and it's posted in 2 days, this will be wiped off in an hour. So this image that I'm showing to you will be down the drain, but I will still be the person behind the makeup brush. Okay, let's go back to Harry Styles. So I volunteered with a company called Headcount to get into concerts. So I had the blessing to be an observer of what was happening in front of me. When I first walked into the atmosphere of the arena concert, I was like godsmacked by like all the girls and all the fashion and all the feathers and all the, I felt like I was at fashion school. Like, that was like my first impression. And my second impression was behind a counter. So I got to see people walk by and stand in line. And it was really interesting. Like, my first observation is all girls, lots of girls, all girls under 30 years old, and a lot of teenagers with their moms. So that's his predominant age range and market. Did you know that he has the most highest sellings of merchandise items? I want to say it's 20 million. He was number one though. And that's because of his fan base, because they're girls that are now women that grew up with him, so they have a stake in each other's lives. So he's like set up for life with these fans, right? What do you think? Perfect musical story. Small town, TV show, boy band, go solo. Like, it's the perfect music business story. It's like what's planned. That's probably like what they planned even before they even formed One Direction, is that when they break up, we're gonna have 5 incomes instead of just one. Because One Direction was one huge paycheck. Like, oh my god. They done It's like, how much money would the Beatles make if they had the internet at their disposal? At their disposal. Is that the word? Disposal. Yes, I think. And maybe that's why the Beatles worked. They couldn't have worked in a social media age. But One Direction had the ability to connect more one-on-one through videos, internet content, to be memorable. I was a Directioner. Do I have One Direction up there? I think I do. I have... What was the last album with Zayn? 4. Was it 4? How ironic that it was called 4. And he would be the first to leave. Okay, back to the concert. I loved the light show. It was a very good light show. I have a theater kid background, so I know that half the show is lighting. 50% of the show is lighting. And that's what his show was. It was more of an evening with Harry Styles than Harry Styles on tour. When I think of a tour, a female-driven tour, you're gonna get choreography, makeup, outfit changes, big stages, costumes, colors. That's when you think of tour. But this was more of an evening with, because it was more just an unmovable stage with no props, just a lot of lighting, and the band was all visible on stage. Which is interesting, because I didn't know what I was going to expect. I just know I was going to see my favorite song live, which is Falling. What's your favorite Harry Styles song? But okay, we just finished that part. Now let's go to the songs part. It was an interesting concert because Harry Styles doesn't have a dynamic, fiery voice, persona, image, or musicality to him. And that makes sense because I think he's like a triple air sign. I think he's like, what is he? Aquarius, Libra rising, and maybe Libra moon. Like, there's no like dynamic power there. There's just a lot of like heady. His voice is so head voice, I've noticed. Like, he sings out of his throat and out of his head. He doesn't sing from his belly, which is interesting because all his songs were very wordy and slow tempo. But you need those slow tempo songs in a set to love the up tempo ones even more, and vice versa. My favorite song live was Falling first, and my second favorite song was What Makes You Beautiful, and my third favorite song was Lights Up. Lights Up was a huge, big production, and with the lights, it just made it so much bigger and it brought the song to life. That was my favorite. But I don't know, it's just so cool to see that people are real, and it's so cool to see that there's 20,000 people in one room and we're all here for the same reason. So you felt safe. It was a safe space to be yourself. And I think that's one of the big draw points to him, individual, and to his concerts. I don't know, it was just nice to be in an arena with lots of girls, but with girls that we all shared one common interest. Was when you walk into the world, you walk into Target or you walk into the dollar store, you walk into the stores not knowing that you might have a common interest with people there. And that's like why you have your guard up or why people have their guards up. But when you walk into a place that you had to pay to be and you're all there for the love of someone's catalog and image and sound, you are all, doesn't matter how you look or what you're wearing, you guys all have one shared common interest. You at least have one thing to talk about, right? That doesn't have to do with your past, emotional trauma, politics, what year you're in, if you're sick. Like, nothing matters. You just have 3 hours to be with people who like the same things you do. And I think that's what is magic, don't you? I would give Harry's tour a good 7 out of 10. 4 points for atmosphere and 3 points for charm. He sells charm and softness. And to see a man doing that is cool. And there's really no one else doing that besides him, or the way that he's doing it on such a huge scale. Like, you can't like ignore the fact that he was in One Direction, like the biggest band of ever, maybe? I don't know. They were to me. But if you could see Harry Styles on tour, I recommend you do. It just felt warm to be there, and it felt you get to see people differently for like 3 hours. It's just really cool. And it's cool to know that Harry Styles is a real person and not just someone that you zoom in on your Instagram and watch through his films of music videos. It's really cool. So that was my mini review or big review of Love on Tour by Harry Styles 2021. Peace out.